Come on, let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another trip vlog. Today, I'm once again flying Scandinavian Airlines Business Class, this time to the land of smiles, Thailand. And yes, I know, I've done this journey before, and I filmed it before, and I've shared it with you before. So why make another video? The honest answer is this. Travel isn't just about going from point A to point B. It's about the little things that unfold along the way. The faces of the crew, the quiet comfort of the cabin, and the way the world looks from 35,000 feet. It all changes ever so slightly each time. And these are the details I want to hold on to. I often think about what it will feel like years from now to sit down and watch these vlogs again. To remember not just the destinations, but the journeys themselves. That's really why I'm doing this again. To give myself a memory I can return to, and to share with you what Scandinavian Airlines service in business class looked and felt like at this particular moment in time. This flight actually took place in the late April of 2025, not yesterday, but not too long ago either. And that's part of the charm. It becomes a snapshot, a time capsule of sorts. So join me as we head to Thailand once again. Let's notice the details, let's enjoy the ride, and let's hold on to these moments for today and for years to come. Before I knew it, I was walking through those gates that marks the line between Norway and the rest of the world. It's a subtle moment, but one I always notice. One step and I'm suddenly no longer just a domestic traveler, I'm part of the international flow. The stopover in Oslo was short, but just long enough for a quick detour into the SAS Gold Lounge on the international side. There, I treated myself to a glass of red wine and a simple sandwich. Nothing extravagant, but exactly what you want when you know another flight is waiting. It's always fascinating to me how these lounges, tucked away in the quiet corners of an airport, can feel like little sanctuaries before the next chapter begins. We pushed back on time in the late afternoon, early evening, and set course for Copenhagen, our next stopover. The flight itself was short but pleasant. As the flight went on, day slowly gave way to night. For the latter part of the journey, the eastern sky treated us to an absolutely breathtaking sunset. Another round of red wine appeared, this time with a complimentary bag of Haribo jelly candy. A small gesture, but one that brought a smile. Haribo, after all, has its origins not far from here, in Bonn, Germany, and somehow it just felt fitting. A canvas of orange and purple hues stretch across the horizon. The kind of view that reminds you why flying is so special. And I couldn't help but wonder, for those passengers who kept their window shades closed the entire time, did they know what they missed? Isn't a sunset like that worth a glance, even if just for a moment? Our route carried us southwards, hugging the eastern side of Oslo fjord, skimming down along Sweden's coastline and passing over Malmö. From there, we flew over Øresundsbroen, the remarkable bridge tunnel that links Denmark and Sweden. It's so long that halfway across, you're suddenly in a different country. Soon enough, the lights of Copenhagen came into view and we began our descent into Kastrup Airport. This was just a short hop, but one that stitched together the first leg of a much longer journey. One that reminds me how every flight, no matter how brief, carries its own little story. I don't think there's a feeling in the world that quite compares to stepping on board a long-haul flight and settling into a business class seat. For me, SAS business has always been something special. Maybe it's the familiarity. I've flown with them so often these past few years that it almost feels like home in the skies. Or maybe it's the small rituals. The welcome at the door, the comfort of the seat, the first glass placed gently on the table.
Boarding completed. And dear passengers, as you can see, we are not a lot of people tonight, but I have to ask you to keep your seat due to the weight and balance of the plane. So the seat that you have received, please keep your seat. Thank you.
En riktig god kveld alle sammen, og på vegne av SAS Skyteam og hele vår besetning hjertelig velkommen ombord på denne Airbus 350-flyvningen til Asia, ikke minst til Thailand og til byen Bangkok. Mitt navn Trondheim, kaptein ombord, og sitter her framme sammen med Mathias Kling og David Jernberg, og sammen med våre gode venner og kolleger i kabinen. Første Sverd av Ritzen i spissen er altså fornøyd som kunne fly til nå. Denne kvelden og natten gjennom deler av Europa og ikke minst Sentralasian til det gamle Siam med smilets land. Flytid ca. 10 timer og 30 minutter. Ingen store trafikale hindringer på Kastrup i øyeblikket som skal føre noen forsinkelse, og værmessig har det vært en vakker dag. Plass som alltid, riktig nok rister litt akkurat denne avgangen, men så fort vi kommer i høyden, blir det mer fine flyforhold på vei mot Bangkok. Som for øvrig varsler de neste dagene i hvert fall vekslende sol og litt enkelte lette regnbyger, men med temperaturer rundt 35 grader. Sammen med besetningen, som sagt, våre gode venner og kollegaer i kabinen. Sammen skal vi alle sørge for å levere noe av det meste vi i SAS kan by på sikkerhet, punktlighet, kulinarisk opplevelse, varme og god tanke. Det er en fantastisk gjeng som tar vel imot dem, og så håper jeg dere har funnet dere riktig godt til rette. Slapper av, så skal vi sørge for å by på noe av den erfaringen vi har fått gjennom mer enn 80 år med luftfartshistorie. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening everyone, this is your Captain Henriksen speaking, and joining me here on flight deck tonight, Captain Kling and First Officer Jernberg. On behalf of Scandinavian Airlines Skyteam and the entire crew on board, it's my pleasure to welcome you all on this Airbus 350 night service to the Far East, the Kingdom of Thailand and the city of Bangkok. It's been a beautiful evening here at Kastrup Airport, just about ready for start-up as well, and as it looks right now, no slow-moving traffic or slot time at the airport, so hopefully we will be able to start up a push in a few more minutes, I presume. Weather-wise, well, as always, might be a little bumpy during departure, but for the crossing of Europe and Central Asia later on tonight, the weather conditions seems to be excellent. Going together with us, SAS finest, the Vikings of overtime, our cabin crew, and together we will represent the best Scandinavian Airlines can offer when it comes to safety, punctuality and service to you, our guests on this flight, which by the way will take us about 10 hours and 30 minutes to complete. So from all of us to all of you.
The captain gives the ready signal to the ground crew. The 4 3,500 horsepower engines are started, and the Stratocruiser moves majestically away from the gate, dwarfing the terminal buildings and the waving crowd. Loaded at 70 tons, the plane climbs into the air. Soaring over the city, the green hill, and the white strip of beach which marks the shore. The plane reaches its cruising altitude and levels up in the smooth upper air. Inside the quiet cabin, the air is pressurized to sea level comfort, and there's almost no feeling of motion. The stroll about spaciousness of the mainliner Stratocruiser invites a leisurely look around. Back to the main passenger cabin, with its soft reclining seat and big picture window.
Attentiveness from the crew can elevate a flight from simply good to truly unforgettable, because service often defines how the journey is remembered long after landing. Of course, even the smallest lapse, a shrug of the shoulders or an offhand comment, can gently tip the balance and leave an impression that lingers. But in my experience, it's almost always the genuine smiles, the thoughtful gestures, and the quiet professionalism that stands out most, reminding me just how important the human touch is in making a flight feel perfect. Of course, I should be honest, I haven't flown that many other airlines over the last half decade, so I don't claim to have the broadest comparison. But there is something about SAS that resonates with me personally. It's a combination of Scandinavian simplicity, calmness, and a kind of understated service that makes the whole journey feel effortless. I also don't want to spend the entire flight babbling into the camera. This video is as much about the atmosphere, the sights, the sounds, the quiet hum of the engines, as it's about my own words. Sometimes, the best way to capture a flight is simply to sit back and let it speak for itself. That said, I do have one small favor to ask. If you are enjoying this trip with me, please consider liking the video, subscribing and leaving a comment. I'd love to know, have you flown SAS business on long haul before? And if so, what's been your favorite destination to fly to? For me, Thailand holds a very special place, and this journey is one I never quite get tired of. So, that's it from me for now. I let the rest of the flight unfold naturally. And I'll see you again when we touch down in Bangkok. Hopefully refreshed, reflective, and ready for another adventure in the land of smiles. Ok.
Der var Så den er siste.
Å ja, takk, takk.
Vær så god.
Åh ja!
Ja, vi skal have en af
Åh, ja, vi er på ferie.
Ja, præcis.
Tak!
Så starter vi, så kan vi gå på slagtekunde.
Ja, det er next year.
Vi vil have lidt ost, salami. Vil du have lidt, jeg har krinke, salami, ost, brød.
Salami og ost.
Vil du have lidt æg også?
Scramble egg.
Ja, det er sådan en, sådan med lidt, der er sådan lidt blue cheese på, men det smager
Nej, ikke blue cheese, nej.
Nej. Oh.
Tak, tak.
Antingen elsker man eller man hatar det.
Ja, riktigt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thailand, exploring iconic buildings and bustling streets, experiencing the charm of New York in the Southern Hemisphere. This is Thailand, where every moment is unforgettable.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bangkok มาถึงกรุงเทพแล้วตอนนี้เวลา 4:40 แล้วก็ร้อนมากร้อนจริงๆ So ladies and gentlemen, it's 4:42 to be exact, and I have checked in to Hotel Ordinary again. I guess this has now become my favorite place to stay in Bangkok, much because the staff is so friendly, they remember me, and the price of the room is reasonable even though it's a small room, but I'm not going to stay and spend a lot of time in the room anyway. So I'm coming back to Hotel Ordinary again, and I'm going to enjoy my time here. I had a wonderful flight. Everything was really great. I didn't film a lot on the flight because I've flown so much in SAS business in the last decade that there's only so much you can actually film, and I just ran out of ideas. So instead I enjoyed my entire flight to the fullest. Food was great, drinks were great, and the flight in over Burma and Thailand was amazing. Beautiful scenery, but it did look scorched down below on the ground. So anyway, I'm here and I'm gonna take a shower. I'm not going to get something to eat because I'm still full, but I may take a trip to one of my favorite places, a place to get a foot massage, and I'm gonna enjoy that. See you later in the channel.